Greetings, entities and guardians, my name is HyperHimes, and what gets you in the mood for movies? Do you usually refer to the action-packed movies filled with car chases, fight scenes, and constant gunfights? What about romance movies about two people who will go to the ends of the world for each other just to make sure they're both safe and in a comfortable position? How about horror? Waiting in anticipation as the anxiety-filled music rises up as you wait for the next jump scare to happen on the big screen will have you either spilling your popcorn in fear, or just laughing because it's more silly than scary. Whatever the case is, either if it's by yourself, with your family, with your friends, or whatever the case is, it's bound to be a good time regardless. So now, if we took cookies into the big screen, what would we get? No, we're not at that stage yet. It's that time of the month again where we look at the Cookie Run OvenBreak YouTube channel as they recently released a new teaser for the upcoming Cookie Run OvenBreak update. If it isn't obvious yet, we're dealing with a movie-based update, and in all honesty, I'm actually pretty excited because there's going to be something new added to this update that's hopefully going to make a bunch of players happy. Now, if you're new to these videos, then what we do here is that we look at the new Cookie Run teaser video, analyze any sort of detail that we can notice, and then lastly, theorize what we could possibly see before the new update reveal video comes out. But of course, there's something I need to state when making these videos because, well, we're on the internet after all. I need to state that these theories and things that I predict are only just from my opinions alone. The likelihood of these things actually appearing within the Cookie Run update is slim to none. I primarily just make these videos to not only hype myself up, but also others for the update that's coming our way. From what I've seen in the trailer, this update is going to be pretty interesting for a certain reason, but with that being said, go pop some popcorn and grab a soda and maybe some candy because they're going to be overpriced regardless because we have an update to get to. The video starts with us looking at some sort of a movie studio setup with a giant camera sign above it and other things like a sign with a film on it with a bird wearing sunglasses, I think a popcorn bucket light, and also a sign in the background that says JELLYWOOD. Suddenly, the scene shifts into the film sign that we've seen, warping into an old western city with a bank, a store, a saloon, and a hotel, along with a few other things. However, a new cookie then runs onto the screen, takes a breath, and then takes the most confident bite of a chocolate bar that I've ever seen. A filming clapper board then pops up on the screen over the cookie saying, "Dash, jump, fly, I can do it all," before clapping and the scene cutting to black. We then see the text scrolling up on the screen saying, Cookie Run OvenBreak, Special Season, Lights, Camera, Action. Grand reveal on February 27th, 0500 PST and 2200 KST, before suddenly zooming out in the middle of a movie theater as if the text were actually movie credits. Okay, so I know what we're all thinking. Is this new cookie wearing the outfit from Kill Bill? I'm sorry, but that's probably one of the most iconic movie outfits someone could wear. I think this spells out what our new cookie is going to be like. She's an action movie star, or just a movie star in general. Considering that we haven't heard of JELLYWOOD before, I'm pretty sure that she's the top star there, and someone else has to direct what she does, but we'll get to that later. Now, another thing that we can gander at is the setting. This update isn't just going to take place in the old western city, right? Well, not exactly. In another video that Cookie Run released, it's revealed that we're going to be getting a new Breakout episode. Not only that, but it reveals some of the levels to us as well. The levels that we see include Bang Bang City of Outlaws, a western city with a saloon, a store, a water tower, and a few other things which we've seen prior in the teaser. The Fellowship of the Jelly, which is a mystical forest filled with butterflies and underground houses. Singing in the Spotlight, which is a beautiful, heart-filled place in the night that suddenly changes to a black and white filter. Dawn of the Soggiest, which is a place that looks destroyed with police tape and also just looks like a mess in general. And lastly, the closing credits, which is just the inside of a movie theater after a movie had just ended. So there's more than just one movie set that we'll be running on, which gives me an idea as to how the format of the game mode will work for the new story. But what does this mean for the story in general? Well, this new cookie, who I assume to be a caramel popcorn cookie, is the top star in JELLYWOOD. However, there's a director cookie who we haven't seen yet that tells caramel popcorn cookie what movies to do, what scenes to do, what shots to get, and other stuff like that. What they're doing is that they're filming for a new movie and most likely is trying to broadcast it to a select few cookies who can get an early viewing of it. However, a few things on set possibly mess up and not work. For example, lights may flicker or not work at all, there could be an accidental spill on the ground, mechanics couldn't work, and possibly more things that could put a damper on the whole movie in the long run. However, Caramel Popcorn Cookie isn't going to stand for it, and she instead keeps pushing, not just for the sake of the movie being the best, but for the sake of the audience. Things in the movie may not be 100%, but she at least knows that she'll be 100% for the fans. The director cookie is a little bit more on edge for what could happen, but they need to stick to their top star. Heck, they probably don't even want to risk Caramel Popcorn Cookie getting hurt or injured during a movie, but that's the risk she's willing to take. This is the movie business after all. So how are these new cookies going to work? Well, let's start off with Caramel Popcorn Cookie. I think from the trailer alone, we know that she's energetic, so she's pretty fast and speedy. I think her skill has her commit some extreme stunts, such as jumping over a wide amount of obstacles or even over a giant pit for points. And if you fail, you get less points that are going to be given. But for her magic candy, she gets bonus points after performing the stunt perfectly, as an audience cheers for her for even more points. Now also for her pet, I think just a good old bucket of popcorn would suffice. What it can do is that it can occasionally pop with popcorn bursting out out of itself, spreading all over the floor for popcorn jelly points. I don't know why you would eat popcorn off the floor, but whatever, this is Cookie Run. The other cookie we'll most likely be getting is a director cookie who wants to make sure that the set for the movie stays completely perfect. So I think their skill may sound interesting, but it'll have to do with the director cookie setting up a movie set. First, they'll have to set up lights by pointing them in the correct direction, and also they'll have to do the same thing with cameras. If both are perfectly set up, you'll get a great amount of points. Also, their magic candy causes the set to become higher in value, meaning that they'll get even more points than before getting it perfect. And also for their pet, I think it would make sense for them to have a yapping clapperboard as their pet, which claps every so often, destroying every obstacles on the screen as the scene finishes. Lastly, I was trying to think for what could be a new treasure for this update, but something I found interesting is that there's actually an old treasure from Lion and Cacao Cookie Run called the Director's Clapboard, so honestly, I feel like that'd be cool if that treasure made a comeback. Now for costumes, we actually don't need to worry about conspiracing about it this time. On Twitter, Cookie Run has been posting these teasers of things coming to the update, and that includes silhouettes of the costumes we might be getting. As you can see, there's 6. My personal guess is that the costumes will be belonging to Popcorn Cookie, Shine Muscat Cookie, Habanero Cookie, Blue Slushy Cookie, and the 2 new cookies we'll be receiving for this update. You could argue that the costume in the bottom left could belong to Marshmallow, but I'm pretty sure Marshmallow is a bit shorter than what the silhouette shows. Also, it's common nowadays for Cookie Run to give the 2 newly released cookies costumes. Like, legit, check the previous updates, tell me I'm wrong. Now lastly, let's talk about some of the things that we might see in regards to the events and game modes. The new game mode with the new cookies will probably, unfortunately, be similar to the style of the previous updates. One area is available for play in the first part of the update, and the second area is available in the second part. Run 3 times by doing tasks for certain cookies or whatever, and then unlock hard mode later after. The thing is, you'll probably be running in different movie sets, which I think will be pretty cool if this happens in the story. If it isn't obvious, we'll be receiving a new Meet the Treasure event along with a Treasure Mastery and Cookie Mastery event with our new cookies and treasures. We're also going to be receiving a new breakout, which will be really cool, and I hope it's not as 20 cookies long as Wander Crab was. Like, I love that stage, don't get me wrong, but it's just too long for me to handle and go through. I think we'll also be seeing a potential return of the Season 8 and 7th Anniversary gift boxes, where we'll be receiving a ton of loot once again, which is going to be plumbing amazing for people who just love loot. Also, there's going to be a new buddy event system involving Coffee Cookie and Buttercream. What? New daily gifts are going to be given out, there's going to be a new jelly set available for purchase, $10 pet, and there's also going to be a new coupon code for Rainbow Cubes given out at the end of the update reveal video. Now of course I need to say this at the end of all of these videos for all of you OvenBreak players. Complete any event that's time limited and collect all of your rewards before the update comes, because when it arrives, they're gone for good. But what do you all think? Do you think that some of my theories might be correct, or do you think that I deserve to be locked up in that insane asylum like usual? Be sure to tell me down in the comment section below, and also tell me down if you're excited for this update or not, because honestly, I'm curious to know. But with that being said, if you enjoy the video, then please be sure to leave a like on it, and also share the video with your friends if you enjoy my Cookie Run content, and if you enjoy my content in general, then subscribe, and also hit the bell icon to be notified of whatever I do in the future. Also down below in the description, you'll see links to all my social media, including a Twitter post where if it gets 10,000 likes, I can get the Cookie Run YouTube set for absolutely free, a link to my Discord server called the HyperHimes Hub, a link to my merchandise where you can buy stuff to represent the channel, and lastly, a link to my Ko-fi where for just $1 a month, you can spend $1 to see exclusive content that you wouldn't normally see on my normal YouTube channel. But above all else, I will see you entities and guardians in the next video. Hail the Hype Knees.